On July 31st, 1991, I was sentenced to prison for what is commonly referred to as a white-collar crime. Thankfully, I only had to serve a little under 2 years. However, upon my release, I needed to pay back over $500,000 in restitution, and the only job I could find in the beginning paid $6.50 per hour. Yes, there were many challenges in that season of my life. During my time in prison, I made the decision to follow Jesus Christ, to live life His way and on His terms. I soon realized that I had a lot of unresolved issues, and the fact that I was locked up was a clear indication of many years of wrong thinking and wrong actions. Though I started to make some changes during that time, it took several years after I was out to see the fruit of this new way of living. Today, I'm happy to say that God has restored every area of my life. Broken relationships have been healed, the financial debt has been satisfied, and I am fully engaged in coming alongside others on their journey of restoration. My name is Gary Skinner. I am the Executive Director of Lessons for Life Ministries, and we have been working with men and women in prison since 2006. As I began ministering in the prisons, it didn't take long before I realized that almost everyone was just like I used to be. They were dealing with the same issues. They had the same outlook, and their wrong thinking was producing the same terrible results. This realization became the inspiration for me to write the Lessons for Life course. I wanted to offer to others what I had learned, and maybe they could learn what needs to change even quicker than I did. Lessons for Life began as a correspondence course. However, as a result of the enthusiasm we were getting from the hundreds of participants, we decided to try using the same material as a curriculum for weekly small groups within jails and prisons. That was 2 years ago. The lessons were an immediate hit. I believe the reason these lessons are so well received can be attributed to several elements. First, they are topical. This helps the student focus on one big idea at a time. They are short. This helps them comprehend what they are learning. Each lesson has a short story or real-life example. Everybody loves a good story. They are written in the context of prison life. This relates to the student's current situation. The questions at the end of each lesson challenge them to apply what they've learned right away. And finally, each lesson stands alone. Anyone can join their group at any time. They can begin with lesson 5 or 12 or 20 and not feel like they've missed anything. The following is a real-life example from one of our classes. I thought I'd share this so you could get a flavor of what takes place. The lesson for the night was titled The Victim Mentality. It is always fascinating to me to listen to the points of view the students have on these teachings. This particular evening at the women's prison was no exception. Most of the ladies understood the importance of taking responsibility for their mistakes, but one of them, who I will refer to as Cindy, shared a part of her story that had everyone in the room feeling challenged about it to a greater degree. I was arrested for attempted murder, Cindy said. I was facing 48 years, and my life was essentially ruined. Obviously, I had a lot of anger and uncontrolled behavior. Yet, God had not given up on me. It was during my time in county jail that I decided to really give my life over to Him. And I began to spend hours reading the Bible and doing the best I knew to surrender completely. After 10 months of fighting the system over my upcoming trial, dealing with an inexperienced court-appointed attorney, and fighting within myself as to the right way to respond, I finally gave up my right to myself and made the difficult decision to do whatever God wanted me to do. Within a very short time, my attorney met with me. Cindy, she said, I've got some really good news. They have no evidence. They cannot prove a thing. Your fingerprints are not on the gun or the bullets or anything tied to the crime. We are going to win. Now you have a choice. We can fight this in court and win, and we will win, or the prosecution is offering you 3 years in prison if you don't want to take it to court. I'll take the 3 years, Cindy said. Cindy said that her attorney was dumbfounded, but she did as she was told and passed the information on to the courts. As Cindy stood in front of the judge to make everything official, he asked, "Why did you decide to take the 3 years?" "During my time in jail, I gave my life to God," Cindy said. "I totally surrendered everything to Him. And if I didn't take the 3 years, then I would have been seeking His help while standing for a lie. I did it. I am guilty." 3 years is a very gracious consequence, and I see that as a miracle from God. I would rather do 3 years in prison with a clear conscience than go free and disgrace Him. Needless to say, this story affected everyone in the class in a profound way. It was not only a great testimony of Cindy's commitment to God, but it really drove home the idea for each of us to take responsibility for our actions, regardless of the cost. It also stimulated some very interesting discussion, which always makes for a good class session. We have seen firsthand how these lessons can be of help to those who want to experience transformation. We believe these lessons can be a great aid to your ministry's success as well. If you would like to order the Lessons for Life course, just go to our website and follow the instructions. And that would be prisontalk.org.